Good morning, YouTube. PPS back here. It is Past the Prop Wednesday edition. You guys know this is our favorite show of the week because we got baseball all day. You get the morning games, you get the night games every single time you look at the screen. There's a baseball game on TV. So coming at you guys live, as always, with my guy Stu, Monotone Football. But we are joined again. AC, how you doing, my man? It's been a little bit, I think, since we had you on here.
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me on. About to share our video here on my page, but no, the last time we were on, I went 2-0, so I got to definitely come back on more frequently because you guys bring good luck.
Yeah, Stu, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. But not only did he go 2-0, he got the first ever Past the Prop official tennis winner in the books. That is a history books moment right there. We appreciate that. And obviously, we're looking to recreate that magic a little bit today. I don't want to spoil anything, but you guys definitely have something to look forward to as we get into the show.
Love it. Let's go.
Yeah, no, I think the only other guy to go 2-0 on his first two shows is Mr. Alpha. Alpha went 2-0 on his first two shows. So hopefully we'll get to 2-0 with the tennis, and we'll get 2-0, and you'll be able to put your name right next to Mr. Alpha on the PTP ball. Yeah. Let's take a look here. We got Dan in here. Awesome. Appreciate you popping in, Dan. Jay, as always. I think this is the first time this month probably that somebody got a post in before Jay in the chat. We got Stu in here as well. Awesome. But yeah, we're gonna have plays. We're gonna have, I think, 5 MLB. We got 1 tennis because we got to, right? We got to get that 2-0
have to
mark in there. And I guess what better way than to let you start it off with that one? I'm gonna let you take it from here because I absolutely don't know anything for these ones.
Sure. So yeah, we went 1-0 the first tennis play. I'm gonna do another one today. It's gonna be FAA, so that's his acronyms. FFA versus Alex de Minaur. I like the over here. FFA is a slight favorite in this match. He's more talented. He's a better hardcourt player, but ADM is just way more consistent, and he likes playing as a dog. So getting ADM as a short dog has been really good for him, very profitable for him throughout his career. He just beat Brooksby a couple weeks ago in the finals as a short dog. So instead of playing with the side here, because the talented player is Alyssa FAA, I can't even pronounce that name, FAA, I'm going to go with the over. I think it's definitely going to go 3 sets. I think FAA is going to go down in the first set, take the second set, and then the third set's going to be anybody's match. But I do like the spot here. If I had a lean to a side, it would be the more talented guy, just in general. But I'm gonna play the over. I think it's the safest. So over 22.5 games, -120. Some books have it at 23.5 at -105, just depending on where you're looking at. When it comes to game totals and set totals and things like that in tennis, my models are actually really, really specific. So if you can't find 22.5, I would probably lay off or play 23.5 for less units. But I do like the over here. And if it hits 3 sets, it doesn't matter what number, right? It's going to hit no matter what. So yeah, first bet of the day on Past the Prop is going to be the over on this tennis match. It starts in the next 20 minutes. So you guys have some time.
Beautiful. Well, lock those in, guys. Lock that early spot in. I have a question for you because I watched the majors, right? I watched some of the tennis majors, and they go 5 sets, correct, in those majors? Is it just because we're not in a major that we're seeing only 3, or is it, how does that work?
Yeah, so 99% of tournaments are really just best of 3. That's for men and women. But the 4 major tournaments, and I don't know why, but for the 4 major tournaments, only the men's side is best out of 5. So that is a good factor. That's a great point to bring up. That's why you guys have like, Rafa Nadal just dominate majors because of his stamina. People can't mentally deal with him for 5 sets. So he may not be a good spot or a good bet on these smaller tournaments because talent-wise, he's not that much better than the rest of the guys. It's just that mental aspect when it goes to 4 sets, 4 or 5 hours long. Rafa Nadal just takes over.
I love that. Well, appreciate that because like I said, I only really watched the majors. Obviously, you have a lot better insight there, so I'm happy that I finally get the answer to that because I was always confused because
I got
those
you,
are the only
man. I
ones that I get
got
to
you.
watch. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, we're going to some MLB. Let's kick it to you, Monotone, your first guy here, a guy we haven't seen you mention in a while, and then obviously a favorite.
Yeah, no, we're coming back with Paul Goldschmidt right here, and then we're going Nick Castellanos right here, a guy that you really only hear him mentioned in the media when he's interrupting some public service announcement about a fallen soldier or something like that. That's the only time we seem to talk about him. But the good news is he's playing very well recently. Obviously, he's played well against left-handed left-handed pitchers all season. Despite having around a 260 batting average, he's hitting 311 against left-handed pitching this season. And he's also playing his best baseball of the year. He's finally over that 300 mark in the month of August. He hasn't hit 300 in any mark this season. He's obviously been better on the road. Obviously, who wouldn't be? I would also be trying to get away from those Philadelphia Phillies fans. Who needs that? 284 on the road as opposed to under 250 at home. Obviously, those boos are not helping Nick out too much. And, I see why. Once again, I wrote about this in my column the other day. I wouldn't want to play in the city of Philadelphia either. So good for him that he's getting away and playing better on the road. Absolutely love this matchup right here. Batting 344 and 250 against Lodolo's top two pitches right here. He's just in another good spot. He's one of those guys that's super underrated. Well, okay, he's underrated now. He hasn't been all season. He's been pretty bad all season, but he's finally putting it together, and that's what really matters, right? We like the recent form, and we like the left-handed matchup right here. And then, of course, Paul Goldschmidt. He's a legend on this show. He's a legend on gambling Twitter. Paul Goldschmidt actually cashed me a home run and a double bet in the same game last time he faced Herman Marquez. So I'm running it back 100%. Great history against Marquez. 407 batting average, over 37 plate appearances. That's with 7 extra base hits to go along with it. I don't need to bore you guys too much more about Paul Goldschmidt. Obviously better at home, hitting 358 at home this season. Great matchup against the guy he loves hitting. Like I said, a little bit hits close to home. Cash that double and home run for me. There's no way I wasn't running it back today. So love this combo right here. Two guys I trust a lot, getting it really close to plus money over on DraftKings.
I love it. And one thing I do like about Castellanos is the Dolo's good, right? But obviously the left-handed spot's nice. But you get that awful Reds bullpen later on in that game, right? And Lodolo has a problem with the walks. He strikes out a lot of guys, so he's not going to go deep in these games. So if you give me 4 innings of that Reds bullpen, probably 2 ABs for Castellanos in there, I like that spot a lot. Obviously, I think they're bottom 5 in literally every statistical category for bullpen spots. So love that spot. Great pick. Have you been riding on that Goldschmidt train, AC? I know he's been a gambling Twitter phenomenon this year.
Yeah, running away with MVP. The guy's a beast, man. When he left the Diamondbacks, I thought it was kind of like, not that he was past his prime, but it's towards the end of his, the second half of his career. And this season, he's just really flipped the switch and he's carried that team, to be honest. And the Cardinals, in my opinion, aren't supposed to be this good as far as like expected wins going into the season. But Goldschmidt has really put up amazing numbers. And I agree, he's a legend on gambling Twitter. We were on the Cardinals team total over, I think, a couple of days ago, and because of him, it hit. So, yeah.
Yeah, he's been great. I'm always trying to push for Austin Riley because I feel like no one talks about him. So obviously I'm an NL Central guy, but I'd like to see Goldschmidt win. But I also like to. Him and Riley are just battling it out. I think those are the only 2 guys even remotely close anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get to mine. I mean, already everybody's gonna know my first play. I'm gonna go to it again. I'm going Guardians first 5 run line. Playing off against the Tigers. I think I already got like 7 things in here. Happy Quantrill Day. Quantrill's back, man. Quantrill's back. Everybody's got him in here. They beat me to it. They already knew he was coming out here today. Cal Quantrill facing off against the Tigers. You guys know I take Cal Quantrill every single time he's at home, and he's been good to me. I think he's only lost 1 time on the show, and I bet him. I think the last 12 starts he's made an appearance on the show here. But like I said, much better at home. 229 batting average. It's coming up a little bit with the struggles as of late. But I really like this matchup for the Guardians with Daniel Norris here. He's only had one start this year, and obviously he did pretty well in that start, but we can't really go off his starting numbers because it's only been 6 total innings. When he was a reliever, he had a 6.28 ERA. Guardians obviously are not going to strike out here. This is a very tough matchup. Ahmad Rosario's looked great as of late. You obviously got the wonder of Stephen Kwan. This dude just hits every single game. I don't know what's going on. Every single game, I swear he has 2 hits. It's just, I go through his game log. It's unbelievable. And then you obviously have Jose Ramirez in the middle of that lineup. It's going to be tough here for him. And I do like the emergence of the young guys and like Nolan Jones and those guys too, able to kind of make that lineup a little bit deeper here too. So really like the Guardians. I'm not going to same thing with Goldschmidt. You guys know Cal Quantrill. You guys know how much I talk about him over the year. So I don't have to bore you guys with him too much. But I really like the spot for the Guardians to take it at least early. And I wouldn't be surprised to see a bullpen game here a little bit more from Detroit. And you could tell they were top 5 in everything for the first half of the season, and now they're starting to fall back a little bit. So we're starting to get that negative regression towards what they actually are and not a top 5 bullpen. So really like the Guardians here. I think they get it done. And obviously, happy Cal Quantrill Day.
Yeah, it's official, right? When everyone in the chat's coming in here and beating you to it, they already knew. Everyone in here was fully aware that it was Cal Day, and yeah, no reason not to. Like you said, I've 11-1 on this show with those bet him at home, fade him on the road. It's as simple as that, right? And while it's easy to say stuff like that doesn't work, it's obviously worked for us pretty well this year. Now we obviously have a great matchup against the Tigers right here, who did actually sneak away that win yesterday, despite the fact that Quan came up for a lot of us in the gambling Twitter space. I think it's a good bounce back spot. Obviously, the Guardians are the better team right here. They do have the pitching matchup advantage. No reason why I don't like them in the first 5, especially with Cal being that guy for us.
I love it. And have you been back in the Guardians at all this year, AC?
I have. It was a Guardians spot yesterday too. I was lucky I laid off on that one. Detroit's a really feisty team, but I like this spot. First 5 is really safe. Yeah, I like it. Good spot.
We have Dan coming in here with our two favorite plays that's pretty much been played every single time. Getting a plus 133 for that, for pretty much the PTP locked in there that we play every single time. So good price on that. I do like it. And let's head on over to Pikkit. We have our 2 Pikkit sports plays. Taylor fade. It is early, guys. Remember, this is early in the day. We're doing these ones an hour earlier than our normal show. But we have 2 guys. I might as well not even put Pikkit number 2 next to Max Scherzer, because this man is on here every single time he makes the show, when he throws on the same day as the show. AC, what are you thinking about Mad Max tonight? Obviously a pretty big game. I think is it in Atlanta?
It's in Atlanta. Yeah, I mean, Max Scherzer is my second favorite pitcher, right behind Jacob deGrom. So I mean, I love this spot. The Mets are coming off 2 straight losses, right, to start the series here. And this is why you pick up Max, right? This is why you have Jacob deGrom, is you buck the losing streak, and it's a big, rivalry game. So I think I love this spot here. It's correlated with my pick later, which, I mean, I'm just going to tell you guys now. I like the Mets -1, -110. I also like the Mets first 5, which is -105. So all those bets are correlated, and I think it's a great bounce back spot for not only the Mets, but for Max individually, because he's coming off a start where he didn't get the win. I think the other team won 2-1. There was no result for him. But I love when, elite pitchers are coming off a loss or coming off a no decision. So I like Max Scherzer over 7.5 for sure.
All right, We got one guy tailing. What about you, Mono?
Yeah, you already know what I'm doing. I'm tailing this one too. I mean, AC, you said your second favorite pitcher. He's my favorite pitcher. I got to support my guy. And like you said, he comes on here all the time, and I tail him all the time, and he wins all the time. So that sounds like a pretty good formula to me. Obviously, one of the best strikeout pitchers in our game, going up against a Braves lineup that they can hit the ball far when they hit it, but a little bit similar to that kind of Yankees syndrome we've talked about these last couple of years, where when they don't hit it, they strike out a decent amount. So perfectly fine matchup for me. They probably have seen Max a good amount, probably more than most guys have seen a pitcher on today's slate. But when you're that nasty, that stuff doesn't tend to matter as much. So I'm going to trust Max to go over 7.5. And I assume this is going to be a popular play today because not only was 7.5, it was actually the second most popular play on today's slate. The first was 11.5. So more people actually laddered it to 11.5 than they bet 7.5. So people are loving this one today. I don't know if I'm going up to 12, but I do like 8.
Yeah, no, I'll be on it. I'll make it official with the whole board sweep here. Anytime the Braves go up against a good right-handed pitcher, you got to take the strikeouts, right? I mean, if it's a lefty, if you're going up like against a Rodon, I would say off. But against righties, man, there's a ton of swing and miss because they have so many right-handed bats throughout this lineup. Swanson's strikeout rate, I looked at it, it was nuts. His strikeout rate is way up there. Acuna's is way up there, but obviously when they do make contact, it goes pretty far. So that was good analysis there. Mono, I would definitely be tailing with you. And kind of a nice transition there where you throw in that Yankee syndrome. We got the guy throwing against the Yankees today, and that is Corey Kluber. Corey Kluber's facing off against the Yankees today. Big matchup, obviously the Rays versus the Yanks. I'll kick it to you, Mono. What are you thinking here? In the most popular play of the day so far, you got Kluber facing the Yanks.
Yeah, this one surprised me a little bit. I think I'm going to fade the public right here. It feels like a lot of people are betting this one simply because the Yankees haven't been playing well and they kind of want to force those strikeouts. We've obviously seen two very good pitchers play very well against the Yankees back-to-back games, but strikeouts aren't really Kluber's game. He obviously accumulates them over the course of innings. The deeper he gets into these games, obviously, the more strikeouts are possible, but it feels like a lot of people are betting this simply because they want to take advantage of the Yankees being on a little bit of a downswing, but that's not enough of a reason for me right here. Like I said, I think Kluber can have a fine outing, 5 2/3, 6 innings, still end up with about 4 strikeouts right here. So I'm not running to the window to bet this one. I don't hate the over. It's just I'm gonna fade this one right here. Fade the public a little bit.
Stu, the Yankees are not in a little bit of a downswing. They are in a big slump. They have 1 run in the last 3 games. I think Corey Kluber is the perfect pitcher to actually get right for the Yankees. I think they're gonna shell Corey Kluber today. The Yankees have made me a ton of money just fading them the last 3.5 weeks. I'm not going to pick the side, but I do see a potential bounce back spot today. Again, they went like 27 innings and only 1 run, barely manufactured anything for the last 3 games. I think Corey Kluber and I wouldn't say noodle arm, but it's a straight fastball. I think the Yankees are going to be able to pick it up really early. So as far as this specific bet, Kluber over 4.5, I personally would probably lay off because I don't know if he can last more than 3 or 4 innings today.
Yeah, no, I'll be on the under too. My biggest reasoning is because Corey Kluber is not trying to strike you out, right? His main objective is to get as deep as he can in games, and the Rays are not throwing him more than like 85 pitches. Yep. He's gone 6 innings through and thrown 82 pitches, and he pulls, right? He's done, right? Also, Corey Kluber's top 2 pitches, that he uses the most, about 60% of the time, is a cutter-sinker combo. Obviously, it's very good for initiating soft contact, but it's not to miss barrels, right? Cutter's just going to try to miss your barrel. Sinker's trying to get you to ground the ball over. As a guy who does a lot of stuff with pitching, I'm trying – literally the main objective, if you're trying to get strikeouts, is to eliminate throwing those 2 pitches. You want to throw the 4-seam because it's going to come out hard. It's going to have the most swing and miss out of those. Cutters, you're just trying to get ground balls. Sinkers, you're just trying to get ground balls. So if you're going to use that about 60% of the time, give me the under here. This is going to be an interesting game because I think that AC might actually be right. I think the Yankees are going to actually blow them up today, especially in a huge division matchup. And they're obviously reeling a little bit here. Or not a little bit, a lot. I'll give
a lot. It's actually been embarrassing. I feel bad for all these fans.
Beautiful. We have the second place coming up here, guys. Remember, smash that like button. Also, make sure you lock in AC's tennis play. That's probably starting here in about 5 minutes. Make sure you lock that in now. If you are in here, grab that quick before we head on over to your second play there, AC, play that you mentioned a little bit earlier.
Yeah, this is correlated with Pikkit number 2 here, but I do like the Mets to bounce back. Very similar spot to the Yankees, coming off 2 straight losses. This is more of a Max Scherzer spot. He's coming off a loss individually for him, so I think he's going to come out and bounce back today. He just saw Charlie Morton with 12 strikeouts yesterday against his team. I think that he's going to come back today and kind of bounce back for his team. Again, this is the reason why you pick up Max for situations like this. You look at the standings. I think the Braves are only 2.5 or 3 games behind the Mets now. The Mets have been on fire, right? They're like 17-4 in the last 21 games, and losing the last 2 of the Braves have really tightened things up. So give me Max Scherzer. If you want to ladder this or stack this, I would do it too. So I looked at the -1.5 run line. I looked at -2 as well. But right now, the safest play is to get the win -1.
Beautiful. Stu, you got anything on this one?
Yeah, man, I love the Mets right here. I love fading Odorizzi as well, too, right? I don't know why they trade.
I
there was
agree.
there's this weird trend at the trade deadline where everyone just decided, let's trade for mediocre pitching. Like, I don't know how he helps your team long term besides being a depth piece. Now you're going toe to toe with one of the best pitchers in baseball. Like you said, a good little bounce back spot right here. I'm never gonna hate going with Max Scherzer, obviously, and then going against Odorizzi. I'll definitely sign up for that.
Yeah.
So both things I like right here at good odds. Definitely agree with this one.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go into more of a personal spot here. Is didn't the Braves play Diaz's trumpets after Contreras hit that homer off him? So they're gonna be mad. I might take this up to -10. They're gonna try to blow these guys out the water with Scherzer on the bump. So they're gonna be pissed off. Gonna be coming at them. I mean, they got absolutely embarrassed in that outing, right? I think it was 13-1. And obviously, you said it. You get these aces for these exact games, right? You got your Burns, you got Jacob deGrom, you got Scherzer, all these big-time guys. When you need a win, this is what they're paid to do. So I love this spot. I think that I could definitely see it being a 2 or 3 run game. And Diaz coming in and just closing the door on these guys just to rub it in their face a little bit. But we are to your second play here, Mono. I will kick it over to you for your spot here.
Yep, I'm going with Carlos Correa and Trey Turner, both to record a hit right here. I actually moved to -107, so shout out to that. While I sent it in here, got some action directly. But yeah, both of these guys are run up against left-handed pitching today. Obviously, righties versus lefties is something we like. Specifically with my guy Carlos Correa, who was a fan favorite on the show earlier this season. But like we've talked about, baseball is obviously a game of these kind of waves, these swings where guys are up one day and they're down another. But what we like to do is we like to catch them while they're going back up. That's what we did with Castellanos earlier, and that's what we're doing with Correa right here. Finally starting to turn things around, coming in with some good recent form. And what we specifically like is, 1, he's at home, he's better at home, and 2, he's against lefties. When you combine that together, at home versus left-handed pitching, he's hitting .324 this season. When you look at how he's doing against Lynch's top 2 pitches from left-handed pitching, .375 and .316 this season. Correa is one of those guys that, like I said, he needs to kind of be feeling himself. He needs to be feeling good, needs to be swinging the bat well, and he finally is doing that, looking good in the month of August. So that's why I'm on Correa. Got a very good price on him. And now Trey Turner, he's the guy. I mean, we all know he's in a lot of hit parlays. This guy has to be up there in terms of, I think he's probably the most consistent hitter in baseball for hit parlays specifically, right? Because Goldschmidt, guys like them, Arraez, even Quan recently, they'll get you those 2-hit games that'll really boost the average. But Trey Turner will do every single day. He'll hit you with a 1 for 4. 1 for 4. I mean, that hit streak was crazy. There were barely any multi-hit games in there. But Trey has been extremely consistent. And what we like right here, obviously slightly better versus left-handed pitching, but Trey's really consistent against everyone, pretty much over 300 right-handed pitching, left-handed pitching, at home, away. It really doesn't matter to this guy. He's going to get the job done. But both of these guys have very good career history against the guys they're facing, which is obviously what we like to see right here. Correa is 6 for 4 against Lynch, and then Turner is 5 for 10 against Lauer right here, with 2 extra base hits as well, or 3 extra base hits, which is what we like to see. So both these guys coming in with some good history against their opposing pitcher. Absolutely liking this one, especially at those -110 odds. Anytime you can get Trey Turner close to plus money, I'll take that 100%.
AC, anything on these two guys? You've been rolling with the Correa train Twins or the Dodgers with Turner at all?
Yeah, I mean, I defer to Mono for the hit props there, but as far as your Brewers tonight, I kind of have a slight lean towards them. I think everyone's expecting a Dodgers bounce back. I don't think that goes against Mono's Trey Turner prop at all, because Trey can still get one or two hits, but I think the Brewers will be able to do enough to potentially get the upset tonight. I know Gonsolin is on the mound for the Dodgers, but I think the Brewers are seeing the ball really well. They had a nice clutch win yesterday. I think they're going to bring that into today's momentum.
Yeah, the funny thing is it's great that you mentioned that. Is the Brewers absolutely suck against left-handed pitching, but they can hit righties. I don't know why. I don't get it. We have more righties in the lineup. Doesn't make any sense. They can't hit lefties. You just saw them against Julio Urias. One thing that does help out the Trey Turner spot is pretty much with the addition of Trevor Rogers, I think we have like 5 dudes at the pen from the left side. And obviously last night I was watching the game, obviously. And Trey Turner got a hit on a ball that was 8 inches off the plate. And all he did was just stick his bat out and flip it over the first baseman. Just stuff like that, just the stuff that no one's swinging at that ball. And he was still able to find a way to get a barrel out there for it. So I thought that was pretty indicative to see that now that it's like, oh, wow, this guy can literally hit anything here.
I think it's not only, sorry to cut you off, it's not only that contact and going for the ball placement there, but he's confident in his speed, right? If he can just put the ball into play, he's confident that he can get into get to first base before you can throw the ball there. So it goes both ways. I love the Trey Turner angle as always. Like Mono said, it's almost every game you can include him into hit props.
100%. Yeah, and great point about the speed. We love infield singles around here. They all pay the same amount of money. Doesn't matter how far they hit it.
True.
Yeah, and that's a perfect segue to my last one. It's going to be my guy who gets his infield singles, and it's going to be my boy Cedric Mullins facing off against Ross Stripling and the Blue Jays here in this afternoon game. Obviously, Cedric Mullins is pretty obvious. We've talked about him being one of the worst splits that you're going to find in the MLB, right? He is 202 versus lefties, but a 290 batting average versus righties. And one thing I did dig up in my research of this game is the Blue Jays have no left-handed bullpen arms. Tim Meza just went to the DL or IL now, but they have no lefties. They can't throw a lefty out of the pen now. So you're guaranteed to see a righty in every single at bat here. Doesn't matter how deep Ross Stripling goes into this game. You're going to bring in another righty after him. Cedric Mullins, it's pretty crazy. Like the WRC plus for him versus righties versus lefties, 62 versus lefties, 126 versus righties. So obviously much, much better. But also what I like to see is he's a lot better hitter on the road, right? Cedric Mullins has the ability to spray the ball, and obviously with the Baltimore crazy left field wall, it's not going to help him when he goes oppo. So now you're seeing Cedric Mullins on the road this year is batting 285 versus 238 at home. And against righties on the road, it's 314. So this is a great spot. I love these matinee games for these leadoff guys. Should see at least 5 ABs. I don't expect Ross Stripling to absolutely blow up these Orioles because they're only a half game out of the playoffs, baby. They're fighting. They're going. And I'm obviously rolling with the hot team here. And it's Monotone's favorite team of a team that is relevant in any sort of way. Sorry about the Nationals there, but had to take my shot because they've lost me a lot of money this year. And then obviously Carlos Rodon, one of my favorite guys to back, and especially when he's at home. The dude has been lights out at home this year. Diamondbacks 25% K rate versus lefties this year. But Carlos Rodon, when he does not have to worry about giving up home runs in San Francisco, is unreal. He is unreal. 1.8 ERA. And obviously his strikeout rate jumps up 7% when he's at home because he can just compete in the zone. He doesn't have to worry about giving up those homers, even though Christian Walker is hitting the ball like 500 feet these last 3 days, just destroying baseballs. But ton of swing and miss in this lineup. And obviously probably will be able to go a little bit deeper in games with these fly ball outs that probably would get out in most stadiums. They're not getting out in San Francisco. So absolutely love Rodon. I think he mows through the Diamondbacks tonight. Has every single matchup advantage here. And obviously Cedric Mullins getting a righty for the whole game. Love it. Love this spot. Any thoughts on these ones here?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'll obviously love Rodon, especially going against a lefty-heavy Diamondbacks lineup, right? They already K against right-handed pitching. Once you get those lefties in there, they either have to go deep on their bench, which isn't a great thing if you're a bench player on the Diamondbacks, or obviously they leave those starters in for that incredibly tough Rodon left-on-left matchup right there. Mullins is an interesting one. It's kind of the same thing I was talking about with Correa. You want to get them in their sweet spot. You want to get them in two spots they're better in. He's better on the road and he's better against right-handed pitching. You got them both. It's what we talk about it with Hap a lot. I think people remember that. We like Hap against lefties and we like Hap at home. If he doesn't meet those two criteria, it gets a lot harder to play him. But when you do finally get those two things together, it's a great spot. So obviously loving this last combo right here. Feeling like a good day on Past the Prop. Feeling like we got a lot of winners out there today.
Yeah, for me, I mean, PPS mentioned it. Toronto Blue Jays, they don't have any arms right now. I'm not a big Stripling fan in general. If you were to look at this bet 2 weeks ago, the Blue Jays to miss the playoffs as a futures bet was 12-1. Right now, as they play the Orioles and are, in my opinion, about to get swept, they're 3-1 to miss the playoffs. I think it's still a great bet. I think the Blue Jays are going to miss the playoffs. And even though they made the huge trade, Padres, Juan Soto, I think they're going to miss the playoffs too. So you could parlay those two together and get like 15, 20-1 odds. 2 weeks ago, like I said, right, you would have penciled both teams in without a doubt. The Blue Jays since then are 2-8 in their last 10. And I think the Padres are 3-7. Just two teams that are going in the wrong direction. I like to fade both teams because people like to back them. So yeah, correlated bet to what PPS was saying.
Beautiful. And I know Monotone just mentioned him versus lefties. Rodon at home versus lefties. 48% K rate.
Wow.
Oh,
that is disgusting, man. If he faces like 10 of them, I'll get 5 free Ks. It's unreal. I just had to check that because you brought that up. I'm like, hey, what is that number? Unreal.
So you guys remember, take away a couple bucks from that Scherzer ladder and put it on the Rodon ladder. That's where we want to be climbing today, okay? Make sure to remember that one.
Yeah, I'll be all over. I just had to throw that bet in. I had to get that tennis bet in quick, so I was just popping that on here. Nice. I think that's right about to go there. So let's get through our recap here, guys. Make sure you smash that like button. You see all the plays on the bottom, but we'll go through our quick recap just so you guys have them on the big screen here. We'll start out with you, Mono. I'll kick it to you for your plays here first.
Sounds good. We started out with Paul Goldschmidt and Nick Castellanos to both record a hit right here, -102 over on DraftKings. Then we moved on. We got Carlos Correa and Trey Turner to both record a hit, -110 right here on FanDuel. And then we're going to Taylor fade. I'm going to be fading this one. I'm going to be fading the public on Kluber right here. I think he's going under. And then for my guy, Mad Max, I will be tailing the public and going over 7.5 strikeouts.
Beautiful. We'll go to you, AC, here.
All right, I have 2 bets, hoping to go 2-0 lifetime on this show when it comes to tennis bets. It's already started, but I think you could still grab it even at a better number right now. FAA against ADM over 22.5 games. I think it goes 3 sets, so you don't have to worry about the number there. And then the second one, big bounce back opportunity for the Mets and for Max Scherzer. I think they win pretty easily, -1, but if you want to stack this, run line -2, -2.5. I think they take care of business. Mets -1. Do you want me to do this one? And then Kluber, I think all of us are doing the under on this just because we have a bounce back spot here for the Yankees. I know their offense is struggling, very, very struggling, but I think Corey Kluber, in my opinion, is a perfect starter to potentially get right with your lineup. So I like the under here in Kluber strikeouts. And then correlated with one of my favorite bets, Mets -1, is going to be the Max Scherzer here, over 7.5 strikeouts. I agree with you guys. I think this was a board sweep in terms of Pikkit number 2. So I do like Max Scherzer over, and I think he's going to have, over outs as well if you want to bet that. And he's going to go at least 7-8 innings today.
I love it. Yeah, I think it's 18.5 at plus money. You can grab Max Scherzer, so that's a great spot. I'll start with my Pikkit one just because I think we were unanimous. I was on the under as well and on the over as well. So we're fully across the board on the same page. In my spots here, I'm going to go Rodon 7 Ks versus the Diamondbacks tonight. Throw that in with my boy Cedric Mullins, minus 101. Hopefully, some of you guys are betting Mullins not to get a hit, so I can get that plus in front of that thing there quick. It's dang close. But obviously, it's Cal Quantrill Day, Wednesday. We're going to be rolling with him on the run line with the Guardians first 5, minus 130. A little juicy. But when Cal's on the mound, we don't care about juice. We drink it for our guy there. AC, we appreciate having you on. You have anything for the people before we head on out? I got your the link, and I got your link for Twitter in the description. Make sure to follow them over there. You got anything for the people before we head out today?
No, nothing to really push today. Thank you for having me on, guys. This is my second time on the show. Let's make it happen, more frequently moving forward.
Beautiful. Mono, what do you got for us?
Yeah, no, I don't want people to run out of here without the home run parlay real quick. You got anything for us, PPS? I don't want to put AC on the spot, but I'm locked and loaded with Paul Goldschmidt. I hit Mountcastle last show. I can't let us go away from that. I need at least one from one of you guys. One of you two. Doesn't matter.
All right. You want to join us on our home run parlay here?
Yeah, AC? You go first. I'm gonna look it up on my end.
Okay. So we have what is the line for yours, just so I know how high I should go here?
Plus 350 on DraftKings.
350?
Goldie, yep, 350,
damn,
baby.
I was not expecting to hear that. Give me Rhys Hoskins in this early game. Give me Rhys Hoskins. I like going to the righty here in Great American Ballpark. Hopefully, he's playing it as Great American Small Park today, because I'm sure it is with how hot it is outside. Sign me up for Rhys Hoskins. I'm feeling that guy today. What is that line at, Mono? What are we seeing for Rhys?
He's plus 250, so a little bit lower.
250?
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know if I can do that. That's a little bit too short.
Well, it's okay. What does AC have? It'll hop us up even more right here.
I'm gonna get Josh Donaldson. He's been in a huge slump. I think he only has 2 home runs in the last month. But again, I think it's a good spot against Corey Kluber. I think it's plus 320. Is that right?
Yep, plus 320. So that brings us to 65-15 for Donaldson, Hoskins, and Goldschmidt right here. Getting some revenge on the Bucks with a home run parlay at the end. I couldn't let us go without that one.
Well, look at that number. That is a fat number that'll definitely look good in my bankroll if we can cash it. Then I'll just throw it all on some golf tomorrow probably. But even round robin this spot, guys, even if we hit 2 of these, it's going to be a pretty nice payout. But, yeah, man, that is nice. We're going to have to 65-1. Imagine hitting that. Then Alpha's got nothing on you. We might never let him back on the show.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, first the Yankees slander, then beating him with the tennis picks. Oh, that would be brutal. But to close out right here, great show. You guys want to make sure to follow AC. We've obviously gone a little bit long. It shows we were definitely having some fun, giving some great picks out here. So definitely follow AC. His link is below, contributing to tons of great sites. Great content every single day. If you want to follow us a little bit more, make sure to go check out Pikkit Sports. They sponsor the show. That's where we get our Taylor Fade from. But as you guys know, it's 11 o'clock right now. The public has plenty of action left, especially that last hour DGen action where all these lines get juiced randomly. If you want to follow that yourself, it's a completely free app. You can decide whether you want to tail or fade the public all by yourself. Code PTP over on Pikkit. Great website. Do the same things we do here. They like to make people smarter. That's what we're trying to do as well. We'd appreciate it if you guys go check it out.
Yeah, and like I said, the only thing I got is we appreciate you popping on, AC. Always a pleasure to have you over here. I know you've been doing some big things over there. I know you'll be ready for football season as well. We'll have to get you on for that. But yeah, very excited for today's slate. Already locked in on some tennis. Get to sweat out during the day. What's better than that? To sweat
nothing.
10 in the
all
morning?
Day sports.
Because once that's done, we're gonna be right on into watching Rhys Hoskins hit a homer here. So everything's gonna be moving. But thank you for popping on. Appreciate it. And hopefully we'll have you on soon. And everybody, best of luck on all these bets if you are tailing. And good luck today with a full day of baseball action, guys. Have a good one. Talk to you soon.